Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how you guys can call your energy back. And I'm going to teach you about how that actually works, because sometimes you guys are calling your energy back, but your actions are doing completely something different. And that's problematic, because sometimes your words don't speak, sometimes your actions will speak for you, and they'll counter your words and everything else you do. And God recognizes this. The universe recognizes it. Your angels recognize it. And people are like, what's the difference between God and the universe? Because people really don't know. God is above all. He made the universe. He is in everything. He's in every fiber, every atom, every being of the universe. Your angels, they're with you. They help you. They guide you. But it's up to you, because we co-create. We are put on this earth. God made man in his image. And we do things in accordance to what we think is in our plan, even though we're eventually following God's plan, and we're being redirected in his plan because it's a better plan. But what happens when you're having trouble absolutely persisting and going on with your plan? And I made a video about this. I made a video about God's plan versus your plan. And now let me talk about this, because this is really important. What happens when you feel like you're just drained? You're without energy. I'm here to tell you that it's your fault. I have to come up with a better approach for that, because essentially everything's our fault. But when people hear that, they're just like, no. Well, yes, we put ourselves in specific situations. I have not found a more sugar-coated way to teach that or say that everything's your fault. And I really do have to come up with a different way to teach that, because people are like, ah! Okay, so yes, it's essentially, energetically, it's our fault that our energy is not where we want it to be, but we don't know it sometimes, so sometimes it's not our fault directly, but it's our fault indirectly, since we didn't learn from certain decisions, certain patterns, certain people were around, certain behaviors, etc. Now, what are some reasons that energy might go out and not come back? Because you're around energy vampires sometimes. Sometimes there's active energy vampires, and sometimes there's energy vampires who are just basically energy vampires by default, because that person is around other energy vampires, and that person has been vacuumed so much of energy that they'll just vacuum energy out of you. And guess what? You're an energy vampire. I'm not speaking to you guys directly. You might be an energy vampire now because you just don't have any energy left, and you're going around people who normally have a bunch of energy, and they're just, you might not know it, but they have less energy because they've been around you. I'm not talking about all of you. I'm talking about specific, some of you. For the people who are not completely drained all the time, you'll fully be able to help people after this video who are completely drained. When it comes to calling your energy back, there's one easy exercise you can do. Uncross your legs, open both your hands, get in a confidence posture, spread your arms out, spread your legs out, feel nice and big. Feel nice and big. Get big. And be like, I call my energy back to me. Wherever it is, whatever my energy is doing, every fiber, atom, particle of my being, every essence of my nature, every essence of every essence of my essence, every atom just from every direction, north, south, west and east and everything in between is coming back to me. And as you're saying this, you can put your own personal spin. I've seen people do some very just very interesting spins, like I call my universal consciousness to collect in a memorable fashion of a particular away from any kind of catastrophe. I've seen people do some interesting callbacks, but if it resonates with you, okay. But here's what you do. You say, call my energy back to me. You can even do a movement, a dance, and you'll feel the energy come back. Like if you do this, for example, because you guys always see me moving my hands around, it's because I'm moving energy. And I'm moving the energy of the crystals, and I can feel the energy in the air when I literally move the energy around. I can feel the energy emanating from the crystals. So say, right now, I call my energy back to me. Do this. And you might feel it just spilling back into your hands, because it's literally, there's a universal law that states that your energy is yours, and by you having your free will, and yes, a free will, because some people are like, well, free will is not really free. You have to pay for it. Well, you do have free will. You're watching this video with your free will. No one's forcing you to watch this video. Now, here's what you do. You call your energy back to you, and you should feel not completely. Some of you might be like, oh, I feel way better. Some of you might be feeling like, okay, I'm kind of better now. Like, I'm noticing stuff. Oh, Stone Man's bouncing again. I'm like, yeah, call my energy back. And this camera's bouncing. And they're like, but call your energy back and you're going to feel it return. You're going to feel a warm sensation, a buzzing, a tingling, etc. You can do this every single day. You can do this as many times throughout the day. And there's no downsides to this. I've heard people online, people who are active energy vampires, be like, you have to be careful about, you gotta stop calling your energy back. Like, your energy could be getting you money, and people will word it very, very fancily. They'll be like, your energy could be getting you money right now, but you just called it back and it's no longer getting you money. Oh, your energy could be finding your soulmate or finding you new friends and new love, but you just called it back. You're not supposed to call back your energy. People who say that are sucking energy, and they're probably doing it actively. Those people are probably doing some anti-Reiki, because people will do certain anti-Reiki exercises to try to vacuum energy out of people. That really doesn't work unless the person consents, but sometimes you accidentally consent with your energy, and I'll explain how very shortly. But after doing this exercise, your energy's back to you. Like, you're gonna notice a text, a phone call, some kind of blockage releasing tomorrow, like, etc. Some people will be like that money, and I'm getting texts right now as I said that. You can do it every minute, because we send our energy out to do stuff, and then we call it back to basically, we call it back so we can do more of what we want, versus sometimes, like, even just think about your day that you had today. Like, okay, today I went to the park, I went to the beach, I used to be better at, I used to be better at using name examples. Let's just say bird, because there's a bird in the back. Let's just, because that's better than my last name suggestion. If you saw that in my previous video, that's yeah, not too happy. I have to come up with, like, names on the side. Like maybe I'll just use crystals as names, not to confuse anyone. But you had an issue with bird. Hopefully not Blue Jay back there. You had an issue with bird today at work, and bird was not the word. Like, that bird, now great, now I'm talking about an actual bird. Bird at work, let's call him Bernie. So Bernie at work really interfered with your day. He threw you off. Your entire day is thinking about how that dude messed with you, and it's messing you up. Like, your energy is with Bird or Bernie or whatever you want to call it. You know my name examples. In the future, I'm going to start using crystals as name examples, but Bernie or Bird or whatever name example has your energy. He does. You call it back, and it's going to return to you. Like, hey, I call my energy back from Bird or Bernie, and it's with me now. Like, this energy is back with me. It's back in my energy field. I feel better. I'm doing better. That person is not on my mind. This person is not going to bother me. Because these people out here really want to bother you, because you feed them energy. You take some of your light and you give it to them when they're in the darkness, and they might have a little bit of your light because they're in a dark place and they don't want to be there alone. It might not last them a long time, but when you're in the darkness now because you followed their path, you accepted energetically that this person's going to bring you down. Not with your words. You're like, I'm not going to let this person bring me down. You're talking about them all day. You're talking about them all night. This person's under your skin and living in your mind rent-free. Now, you cut this person out, call your energy back. After you do this, some people are like, I called my energy back and it's not back to me. Well, you called it back, but you keep sending it out again. Now, this is on part 2 of this video. Now, this is really important. For the people who call their energy back constantly and you're not seeing a change, you're not seeing something you really desire, it's because you are energetically, not with your words, but with your actions, with your thoughts, with your beliefs, your energy's still not back. Like, you say, I'm going to stop worrying about Bernie. You're thinking about Bernie all day and all night long. Maybe you're checking Bernie's Facebook. Like, I want to see if Bernie's talking. I want to see if Bernie's talking. Because there are people like this. Don't get me started on Facebook, people. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. People get kicked out of bars and restaurants and clubs just for being on Facebook and typing away. I'm going to see what Bernie says on Facebook. And this Bernie's like, and Bernie's going to burn you because you burn Bernie. Bernie's going to burn you because you're checking up on Bernie so much to the point where your energy is just burnt. Like, you said you called your energy back, right? but you literally place your energy with this person, with your actions, with your beliefs, with your thoughts, with your mind frame, and your energy's not back even though you called it back, because everything you're doing is against what you just said. How often do you see when people's words, if they say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then their actions do something completely different? What is that? What kind of lifestyle does that person live? They live the lifestyle according to their actions. Same thing to there are certain people who will do affirmations, especially with other YouTubers. They'll be like, I'm rich and wealthy, and they'll do that affirmation, but then they'll go home and call themselves broke, and then really treat themselves very badly, and then have really bad habits that lead them into worse habits, and then not take any inspired action. It's like, your actions and your words will counter each other out, especially when it comes to calling your energy back. Now, when it comes to reclaiming your energy, a good 90% of it is who you have around you, who you're giving your energy to. So, one is strangers. In public, certain people do not deserve your light. You can smile at them, but just move on afterwards. Certain people are so unhappy with their lives. If they could just get a reaction out of you, just a look on your face by them giving you a look on their face, like, and then you're like, what did I do? I didn't do anything to this person. They made me look at me. They did that to like 5 other people, and they did the same thing. Maybe there was one lucky one who actually knew what they were doing and didn't respond. Like, oh, okay. And I actually taught that on TikTok. If you just say, oh, okay, move on after you say that, and this person's going to be upset at themselves because they didn't make you upset, because they didn't get your energy. They want to see you hot and bothered. They want to see you turn your head back and like, what do you just look at me? Because this person doesn't have energy. But now they do, because you just gave them your energy. You can be like, I call my energy back. Okay, you can say it out loud, but don't pay attention to people who try to make problems with you, especially strangers, or people who are just trying to step on you. Now, what's another good example? Friends. Certain friends will vacuum your energy. Certain friends will have you, and especially for people who go out to like bars and clubs and just do a bunch of hip stuff and like you're all hanging out together. Yeah, because that's a collective energy pool. That's an energy pool. And you would like to work on your projects. Maybe you like to make quilts, and you're working on selling quilts, but your energy's not into selling quilts. You're hanging out with a bunch of people who are just hanging out for the point of hanging out, and they're dragging you down because your energy is with them. It might not appear as energy vampirism, and maybe it might not be direct energy vampirism, but it's energy that's not going into places that you would like it to go into. So you have to make what's called a sacrifice. You sacrifice... sacrifice your friends, but not literally. Sacrifice them energetically. This is not Game of Thrones. Don't get the goat knife. Well, get the goat spiritual knife. You can actually take in a selenite knife, or a selenite stick, or a selenite wand, which I put in all my packages, and you swipe it over you. Because if you have any physical cords, like physical astral cords, because these things actually feel like fishing line. They feel like very light fishing line. You'll feel them snap and cut after you do like an energy swipe. And then you call your energy back after that, and then you don't reattach to what's draining your energy in the first place. Like I said, your actions are very important. A lot of you just don't have blessings coming to you because your hands are closed, because you're not receptive to the blessings. As soon as you open your hands, as soon as you make space, is when you know how many blessings at once will come into your life as soon as you make space? A lot. Like these blessings were like, okay, I was waiting. Like all you had to do was just remove, because let's just say your blessing capacity is at 99, and what you have in the space of blessings is 99. So in order for the blessings to come in, if you like a minor blessing, then guess what? You take 99 to about 80. So now you have this many points of blessings that can fill that space. Maybe if you're just sick of all of whatever's in your pool, whatever is occupying your space and your energy, you remove all of it. So let's just say you take a break from hanging out with all your friends. You don't address certain family members who are making problems for you. You call back your energy from maybe someone you're dating who's just vacuuming energy from you and doesn't really care. You work on yourself. You work on your business, your job, your careers, what you want to get started, and you start pulling your own energy back to you. Because sometimes your energy's out so far just due to your actions and the way that you think and believe that your energy is not back to you. It is not back to you yet. So practice making sacrifices. That's why it's called a sacrifice. It's not comfortable. You might not want to do it, but it's going to benefit you. And when you do it, you're going to be thankful. Wonderful. Wonderful. Many of you will know the mechanisms, and I taught about casting a void. It's the same idea. Make sacrifices, and you'll have all of energy, all this energy that you didn't even think you had back. And yeah, you can work with crystals. You can call your energy back. You can replenish your energy with coconut water and carnelian and work on the sacral chakra all you want. But if you're countering all these different healings, and yeah, those are some things that you can use to replenish your energy, but it doesn't matter if what your actions and what you're doing counter that. Like, your energy comes back naturally unless you don't let it. It's kind of like your blood. You cut yourself and now blood's pouring out, but it's gonna clot. Like, your body will make more blood. But if you're not letting it clot and you're not letting your body make your own blood, you're going to be drained. Same thing, that's how energy goes. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. I hope this video has helped you. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Ciao!